everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little get ready with me to go to therapy. I haven't been to therapy in years. I recently have had a really tough time and I kind of recognized that a few weeks ago that I might need some more help. So I decided to look for a therapist. I hopefully found a good one. I don't know, I've never met her before. We've had conversation over the phone and she seems really nice. I wanted to make this video to talk about therapy in general and just like my experience with therapy. If you guys have watched my videos, you guys know I've been through quite a lot of therapy for different things in my life. I was kind of against therapy for a little portion of my life just because I thought it like wasn't helping me and like wasn't necessary, and that was true at the time. It wasn't necessary because I didn't really need to be talking to someone, but now I definitely need to be talking to someone. So let's do my makeup and talk. I guess to begin with, I started therapy when I was 12. I had really bad social anxiety and pretty bad depression in middle school. I like would not go to middle school. I had so much anxiety. I just remember about everything. Like if someone made a comment about my outfit, I would like not go to school the next day because I'd be so anxious about like someone looking at my outfit or like my hair or if I shaved my legs. I think a lot of that had to do with like insecurity and just like immaturity. I don't know, I was just so anxious. I couldn't even talk to someone over the phone. Like I had so much social anxiety. So I went to a therapist who specialized in that, and to this day she was like my favorite therapist. She had to like leave from maternity leave and then got stuck with a lot of bad therapists, but she helped me a lot with like exposure therapy and social anxiety. I would have to like go into coffee shops and order my own drink, which like terrified me, and now I do it all the time. It's like not a big deal, but at the time that was like the scariest thing. I'd have to like call places and make fake reservations, like just things like that to help me out of my social anxiety shell. And things I learned back then are like still things I use today. So I found that therapy to be very helpful, and she didn't really help me as much with depression because I would lie to her all the time. I'd be like, yeah, like I feel like fine, like my mood's at like an 8 when it was really like at a 3. I had her from I guess when I was like 12 to maybe 14, I don't know. Those years are like honestly such a blur. Then when I went to high school, I had like a pretty good time like my freshman year, like in the beginning, but then my sophomore year things really went downhill. I went on a different medication. I don't know why I switched medications, but I did, and this medication made me so crazy. And like I look back at high school with like not many fond memories because I felt crazy in high school, and I like was using this Bobbi Brown foundation. No, but I was like crazy in high school. I like could never keep friends or relationships. There's always so much drama. I think my emotions were just so all over the place and I didn't know how to handle them at all. One doctor even thought I was bipolar because my medication like had the side effect of like becoming bipolar. I don't know, so I had to get off of that one so I wouldn't be bipolar. That doesn't even make sense, but that's what the doctor told me. He was a professional, so don't take what I say as like the fact, but that's what I was told, that he thought that I had bipolar. I've been diagnosed with so many random things. Also, I found this like list with things that I've had, and like ADHD is on there, but I never knew I had that. And I don't know if I do. Like, I don't know. I should be like tested again for all that stuff. But I think as I've gotten older, I've like grown out of a lot of these emotional mental illnesses, except for like depression and anxiety. I feel like those will just stick with me my whole entire life. Just like general anxiety. I don't really have that much social anxiety anymore. However, back to like my story, I dropped out of high school when I was a sophomore and was trying to do online school and just like fill it out of that. I like wasn't motivated. I really wanted to just like, and one day I had like a really bad therapy session with a therapist I was seeing at the time, and I just felt so hopeless and I wanted to go home and not be here anymore. So after that situation happened, my parents decided to look into wilderness therapy. And if you guys know about that, I have a whole video about my experience going to wilderness, but you get like kidnapped in the middle of the night and sent to a different state for like a few months where you have to like live in a tent, and it's a pretty intense process that I went through, but it changed my life. I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't go there. So I'm grateful for it, even though it was like kind of traumatic. I was 16 at the time, now I'm 22. I still think about that experience like every day. I'd say the biggest thing I gained from that was just appreciation for my life. I like lived in a tent. I didn't have a pillow to sleep with. Like I slept on rocks outside for 3 months. Like it made me appreciate my life so much. And a part of that program was aftercare. So you either had to go to like a residential or a therapeutic boarding school, or you could come home as long as you had a life coach. and I decided on coming home with a life coach. Well, my parents decided. I had like no say in the matter, but I had that life coach for a few years after. I think for like 3 years, I want to say. Maybe not, maybe like 2 years. And she was really good until there was like a point where I just like didn't have things to like talk about with her, and I was just like, this isn't very necessary anymore. So I stopped going to her, and she wasn't really a therapist, but it was kind of like therapy. I would talk to her about my problems, and she would just kind of like help me plan for things in the future, and she helped me get my first job, things like that. And she helped with like the whole transition from coming back from the wilderness to like real civilization for the first time, and like being back in the same environment. But anyways, I stopped needing her as much, and I was just kind of had a stable mental state. I mean, yeah, things would kind of go up and down and whatever. I'd go through something that made me feel a little bit depressed or whatever, but I was pretty much fine. Flash forward to now, I guess a few months ago, I lost my grandma, and that was a very kind of traumatic experience because I was like with her when she died, and I like spent the night with her all the last nights of her life. She was like my best friend, my like go-to. I've talked about this in my past YouTube videos if you've watched recently, but I didn't realize how badly it would affect me, her not being here. I mean, I kind of realized when it was happening. I just didn't, like, I was in denial that she was gonna pass away because I was like, no, like, she literally had like 9 lives. She has like had a heart attack, she's had breast cancer, she's had all these things, whatever, that she could have like died, and she never did. So I just like assumed she would like get better from this. She had cancer, and we like only found out like a month before she died, but it was only until like the day before she died. Like, I really did not think she was gonna die, so I didn't want to talk to her as if she was dying. Like, a lot of people were coming, like saying their goodbyes to her, and I didn't want to like, you know, like not give her hope. Like, I didn't want to like say like, oh, like it's okay to die, because it wasn't, you know. Okay, so anyways, my grandma passed away, and I was pretty busy. I was a nanny for the last couple years, so I was just got back to work, and I mean, I took some time off and then went back to work. And then I had also applied for college and was planning to move to college in the fall. And something that I learned in therapy was that it's really important to like have a circle of people you can go to, like literally list a circle of like, if this person isn't available, talk to this person, whatever. And my main people that like would make me happy and I would talk to were, one, my grandma, and of course my parents, but sometimes parents are like harder to talk to about things. So I preferred having someone that was in my immediate family. My grandma was always just non-judgmental and just always give great advice. And every time I'd see her, even if I didn't talk about anything, like she would just make me feel better about my like self. Like she would just always be in a good mood and happy, like never took anything super seriously. And then another aspect of my circle was my job. Since I was a nanny, I had the baby that I nannied for, who's not like 3 years old, but I had her, and like every time she'd open the door and like just see me, or I'd wake her up, like it was just like she was like the light of my life, like made me so happy, and like I wouldn't have to worry about anything going on in my life because I was just like there to like take care of her and like the family and stuff. And it was a very fulfilling job. And her mom, like I would talk to her probably more than anyone in my life, because I would like sit like while she was napping, we'd like talk and stuff. Sometimes it was tiring, like taking care of kids and whatnot, as taking care of kids is, but I really mentally felt good and like happy and fulfilled there. But I knew it couldn't be a nanny forever, so I wanted to go to college. Literally exactly a month after my grandma died was my move-in date for this apartment, and I was excited for like a new chapter. I thought it'd be good for me to just move out of the city I was living in for so long and make new friends and go to school and get a bachelor's degree and all these things. And I still think it's good for me, like obviously that's why I'm here, but I didn't realize how much of an adjustment it would be. I was used to having my job, having these fulfilling things and people and my grandma, and now like I have none of it, and I just felt so alone, and I still do. That's why I'm going to see a therapist. It's been a really hard adjustment, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about when they're like just actively struggling. Like a lot of people will be like, oh, I was struggling here, but like right now, like I am struggling. Like currently in this moment, it's very hard for me. I feel like school just brings back a lot of anxiety. A lot of my anxiety stemmed from like teachers I had when I was younger that like traumatized me in a way or another, and like having deadlines and due dates and being graded on like, if you're not perfectly good at this, then you get graded bad, and then that affects all these other things. Like that stresses me out and gives me a lot more anxiety. So I have anxiety about school, and also just like living alone, kind of far away from home and not having anybody. It just makes me feel like anxious and depressed, and I don't have like a purpose here. I feel like before I was like taking care of kids, and I feel like that was like really like my purpose, and I just felt fulfilled, and like here I don't feel fulfilled doing anything. Oh, and also I guess a big part I should mention is that I also decided about a year ago that I wanted to go off medication. I've been on medication since I was 12, different ones here and there. I've been on 100 milligrams of something since I was 12, and I just never known what my brain is like without it. And I have had like mood swings here and there, and like spots of like depression, anxiety, and I'm like, isn't the medication supposed to like not have that happen? Like, I just want to see what it's like to just use the coping skills I have and not rely on a medication. And also eventually I want to have kids and stuff, and I know you can be on medication and have kids, but since I have had such crazy pasts with changing medicines, like going crazy and like the bipolar stuff, like I just wanted to go off medication now when I don't have as much responsibility than like try to go off medication when I have like kids or something. Even though you can do that, I know it's possible. And going off right now in such a big life transition is probably not the best idea, but like there's always going to be change and transitions happening. So, and I didn't really know that I'd still be tapering off this long, which is completely my choice. You can just taper off in like 2 weeks, but I've been on it for 10 years. I wanted to take it very slow. So like I started in January being on 100 milligrams and then going down to like 75 for like a few months. And like you're supposed to just do a few weeks, but I want to do months at a time, different levels, because I didn't know if like there would be bad side effects and all this stuff. So you can get like brain zaps, like crazy things. I'm now on 25.5 milligrams, and I see a psychiatrist that like monitors this. She's like all for it. She's very like holistic, and I have like supplements and stuff. I feel like children should not necessarily be put on medication in the first place. I feel like you should try like other things. Like I wish I was like introduced to like saffron and like meditation, all those stuff when I was like 12, instead of just like, oh, you're depressed, here's 100 milligrams of Zoloft, you know? Anyway, so yeah, now I'm going off of medication. My grandma just died. I just moved to a new place. I don't have any friends. So it's just a recipe for destruction. So that's my reasons for going back to therapy. Hopefully you guys get them all. So I kind of just want to focus on the problems I'm having now versus like things in my past, but a lot of times in therapy it is stuff from your past that like affects the way you act now, like in relationships and stuff. Oh, my boyfriend also broke up with me, so I might deal with that, but I don't know, I kind of want to focus on the main reason I went to therapy. That was like after I already decided to go to therapy, so that's not really the main reason for it. And I feel like, I don't know, I just need to deal with grief, I feel like, is what I'm struggling with the most right now. This fan was actually my grandma's. It's only from the dollar store, so I could get another one because it's also broken, but I don't want to get a new one because it was hers. But they do have a pink version, so I might go and get that one. I feel like that's pretty much it for the therapy stuff. I'm just gonna continue to do my makeup, and I want to I tried to practice last night doing like the Utah curls, but it like did not work. I do not know how they do that. It's like such a science. Like they like are like, oh, just do this, and they do it so fast. I'm like, how do you do that? They like twist it and then like unclamp it, but then if I do that, my hair falls out of it. Like I don't really know how to do it, but I am going to attempt to do some nice little beachy Utah curls. Let me see if I've forgotten anything about therapy as well. I feel like I kind of brushed over going through therapy, but I've done like a lot of therapy. I've done like group therapy, DBT therapy, I've done PHP, I've done EMDR, like all these crazy things. If you've never been to therapy, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but if you have been to therapy, maybe comment down below what your experience is. A lot of people say therapy is for everyone, but I really don't think so. I think it's for different scenarios. Like there's been parts of my life where I feel like it wasn't necessary for me to go to therapy, and I felt like I was just like making stuff up to like talk about, to like, you know, get the full hour. But now I have loads to talk about. Oh, sorry, I also haven't been really saying all the products I'm using, but I use the same products every day. So if you just watch some of my YouTube videos, I feel like I get ready in every YouTube video. So just watch my videos and you'll figure out what products I use. Or if you want to know a specific one, just comment down below. I feel like I should put on waterproof mascara in case I cry. I don't know where that would be, so I'm just gonna use my everyday mascara. Okay, now I'm finally done with my makeup. Hang on, I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, so they start off going like this. They go down and then re-grab the hair. And then they do some weird thing where they like twirl it and then wrap again, I think. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Like I can't even get the hair, and then if I do that, it all falls out, so I don't know. Like that does not, like what? I don't know, you guys. Like they do it so fast too. Like I'll insert a video of them doing it. Like how do you do that? Okay, I give up. I'm just going to go with my regular hair. I'm just wearing this crew neck from Elwood and then just some jeans. I'm gonna wear my favorite perfume that's almost out. This perfume is so expensive and it's a gift, and I don't want to buy it for myself, so. Oh, cannot forget. Okay, time to go to therapy. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Thank you for watching.